Chapter 41. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? Huinan was shocked. Of the two possibilities Gutong mentioned, no matter which one sounds so unbelievable, that is a sixth-order magic weapon. The power of its operation has almost reached the quasi-returning ruin state. Such a thing can be flew to a distance that cannot be sensed by a flick of a finger, or, just destroyed. This is too scary. If this is true, then Luo Tian's strength. Huinan suddenly turned his head to look at Luo Tian, feeling a bad premonition in his heart. Is there such a possibility that Luo Tian can kill Ming Xian and then Ding Chen, not by King Jinpeng, but himself? Thinking of this, Huinan only felt that his heart began to sink. Miscalculated, I really miscalculated. Could it be said that Jiangxuanzong's glory for hundreds of years has come to an end? At the same time, Luo Tian withdrew his hand and looked down at the people of Jiangxuanzong. 30 breaths have passed, no one has quit. Very good, it seems that you are all determined to be buried with Jian Xuanzong. Then I will fulfill you, as Luo Tian said, with a casual move, he took out the knife of the scarlet blood demon scorpion from the interspatial ring. Heavenly Dao sword technique, 4-phase slash, as Luo Tian said, he slashed forward, backward, left, and right 4 times, the terrifying saber aura, across a distance of tens of miles, drew a mouth shape, enveloping Jian Xuanzong in it. Huh? What did he do? Did he miss it? No, it can't be just a coincidence that this guy can fly the ancestors' Fanjiang seal with one finger. Several elders of Jiangxuanzong looked suspicious. On the other side, Luo Tian said to King Jinpeng, let's go. What? King Jinpeng was taken aback for a moment, not understanding why Luo Tian chose to leave. The 4 knives just now clearly didn't cut anything, but King Jinpeng could only obey Luo Tian's orders. Call. With a shake of his wings, King Jinpeng turned around and left. Oh. How did that guy leave? I don't know, maybe there is some conspiracy. Perhaps, that kid is just bluffing. Or, there is some limit to his power, he can only use it once, he is afraid of being exposed, so he ran away first. This guess makes sense. Everyone in Jiangxuanzong said one after another. Even Gutong looked puzzled, but even though he couldn't figure out why Luo Tian would do this, he still let out a sigh of relief when he saw Luo Tian leave. After all, that guy's strength is too weird. Master, won't you kill them? King Jinpeng asked suspiciously while carrying Luo Tian. One must know that Luo Tian's murderous aura just now was not a joke. Leaving so hastily is not in line with Luo Tian's character, but Luo Tian said coldly, it's already been killed. What? King Jinpeng was stunned, and then looked back subconsciously. At the back of King Jinpeng, where Luo Tian's saber chi fell just now, a saber glow suddenly spewed out from the ground. Immediately afterwards, the other 3 places also erupted huge sword glows, rushing up to the sky, directly enveloping Jian Xuanzong in it. This. King Jinpeng's pupils trembled. Even though they were far apart, he could still feel the threat of terror from these blade glows. He has a feeling that even if he is touched by this sword light, he will definitely die. What's the matter? What is this? This guy, is he trying to seal us here? Look, that blade light seems to be broken. Amidst the shock of Jian Xuanzong's people, the huge sword light that sealed Jian Xuanzong on all sides was shattered into countless small sword lights, and then chopped towards Jian Xuanzong's people. Damn it, break it! An elder of Jiangxuanzong drew his sword to resist, and slashed towards a ray of sword light. However, his sword shattered in an instant, and then the tiny light of the blade pierced through his body, killing him on the spot. This is not good, everyone run away. For a time, Jian Xuanzong went up and down, mourning everywhere. However, under the attacks of countless sword glows, it was impossible to escape. It's over, it's all my fault, I made a mistake in judgment, and this happened. The moment Huinan saw Daomang, he understood that he and Jian Xuanzong were all over. At this moment, he felt extremely regretful in his heart. Why did he provoke Luo Tian? Why not investigate Luo Tian's strength carefully before making a move? However, all of this was too late. Sect Master, don't give up, resist with all your strength. An elder shouted. Don't give up. What's the use? Can't you see how powerful this saber energy is? NaN smiled wryly, letting a saber glow penetrate his chest. Damn it, I can't die here. Gutong roared and flew into the air. Old ancestor, does he want to escape? Old ancestor, take me with you. A group of Xuanhuan disciples shouted loudly. However, before he finished speaking, he saw Gutong in the air, surrounded by thousands of sword lights. Break me! Gutong roared angrily, drew his sword and slashed, and a mighty sword energy gushed out, but it was instantly annihilated by the sword glow. Then, after thousands of sword lights slashed, Gutong froze and fell from the air, and was pierced by more sword lights, blood spilling into the sky. Gutong died in battle. In an instant, Jian Xuanzong was completely desperate. In just a few breaths, the entire sect was completely destroyed. What a terrifying power! King Jinping also gasped when he saw this appearance. Jian Xuanzong, after all, is a second-rate force in the Night Breeze country, and it is already terrifying. However, such strength, in front of Luo Tian, was as fragile as paper. However, King Jinping understood that there was nothing he could do about it. This is all Jian Xuanzong asked for. If it wasn't for the fact that they wanted to exterminate the Luo family twice in a row, with Luo Tian's character, it would be impossible for them to strike so ruthlessly. Master, where are we going next? King Jinping withdrew his mind, looked at Luo Tian and asked. Do you know where the ghost hall is? Luo Tian asked. Ghost hall? King Jinping closed his pupils. Master, Ghost Demon Palace is a loose organization of killers that spreads almost all over the world. No one knows where their main rudder is. The one in Night Breeze country is just a small branch of Ghost Demon Palace. King Jinping explained. Luo Tian nodded, and said, is that so? Then do you know where the subhelm of the Ghost Hall is? King Jinping nodded and said, I know one. Take me there. Luo Tian said. King Jinping didn't say anything, and his speed suddenly increased. In a remote mountain village, there is a dilapidated grocery store. An old man with a cigarette pipe was sitting in the grocery store, looking at a list in his hand. This month, I received a total of 360 assassination missions, and 9 of them failed. The old man looked at the list, frowning, and stared at the 9 failed missions. 6 of them failed to assassinate King Xuanhuan, 1 failed to assassinate Zen Master Tianan, and 1 failed to assassinate Sect Master Xuanhuan. For these few people, hundreds of assassins in our ghost hall have been damaged over the years, right? It's really hard to kill. As he spoke, he set his sights on the last one. Ha! The Luo family in Bianbei City and its young master Luo Tian also failed. How is it possible? The old man looked surprised. Chapter 42 I Kill Myself. You are listening at NaNoFull.audio. The old man held the task list and confirmed it several times before giving up, but after confirming, he still had a look of disbelief. Bianbei City? Just that small border town. It seems that there are not even strong people in Yukong realm, right? The red-haired ghost can be regarded as our elite killer in Night Breeze country. How could he fail? Are you sure the information is correct? He surprised. Behind him, in the shadows, a voice slowly said, that's right, our investigation is very clear. The red-haired ghost died in Bianbei City, and was killed instantly. Instakill? Who can instakill him? The old man was shocked. The demon king of the Tiandang Mountains, the 5-colored and 5-colored gods and cows. Shadow replied. The old man suddenly had a clear expression, and said, is it that guy? That's not surprising. In terms of brute force, that cow is firmly in the top 3 among all the monster clans in Night Breeze country. Guy, how did you get involved with the Luo family? This he did not understand. A small family in Bianbei City and the demon king of Tiandang Mountain can't get in touch with each other. The specific situation is not clear, but it is the fact. Shadow said. The old man sighed, and said, there are only 500 million low-grade spirit stones, and a red-haired ghost is lost. This deal is a bit of a loss. While the two were talking, a person walked in slowly. Yo! Customer, what do you want to buy? The old man raised his head, looked at the visitor and asked with a smile. Buy your life, said the visitor. The old man immediately put on a smiling face and said, I don't know whose life the guest bought. Luo Tian. The visitor said. Luo Tian. This Luo Tian again. I don't know how much the guest will pay. The old man asked. 1 billion low-grade spirit stones. The visitor said. What? 1 billion? The old man stared. You know, this price is a big deal. Guest, do you have any special requirements? The old man asked. Yes, you are only allowed to kill him alone, and don't move other people around him, otherwise you won't pay. The visitor said. The old man smiled and said, that's easy to say, but the guest, the killer who hires our ghost hall, needs to register briefly, lest we finish the work and can't find someone to pay. May I ask the guest, what is your surname? That the visitor raised his head, looked at the old man and said, Luo Tian. Okay, that the old man's smile froze immediately. Luo Tian. This guy is Luo Tian. Luo Tian from Bianbei City. Isn't this the target he wants to kill? Guest, who are you? The old man asked again. Luo Tian, I want to spend money to kill myself. If I succeed, I can use my head to withdraw money from Luo's house. Do you understand? The other party said, yes. It was Luo Tian who came. On the way here, he originally thought about destroying the ghost hall directly. However, after being introduced by King Jinpeng, Luo Tian knew that it was too difficult to destroy the ghost palace, because the ghost hall is an organization that spreads all over the world. More importantly, this organization is extremely loose. You can enter and exit at any time. In other words, this ghost hall is more like a killer agency. Everywhere, it is almost impossible to destroy the opponent in a short time with brute force, so he came here directly to issue a mission to kill himself. Guest, are you kidding me? The old man squinted his eyes and said. Are you qualified to make me joke? Luo Tian asked. The old man suddenly smiled slightly, and said, okay, we will accept this task from the ghost hall. That as he spoke, he flexed his fingers and entered a piece of information in a jade slip. He, our brothers are really lucky. We originally wanted to take a rest here, but I didn't expect that 1 billion low-grade spirit stones would be delivered to our door. A voice in the shadow said with a smile. Saying that, 2 skinny men who looked exactly the same came out from the shadows. Mo Fei, Mo Xiang, you brothers don't want to eat such a big piece of fat. I want Luo Tian's life. That while talking, a fat man with a strong figure walked out from another direction outside the room. He Feng, what do you mean? Mo Fei's 2 brothers suddenly asked angrily. What? Who said that this task can only be done by you? He Feng sneered. Okay, then let's each rely on our own abilities, whoever grabs it will count. Mo Fei said. He Feng nodded and said, no problem, it depends on who is faster. That after finishing speaking, the 3 of them looked at Luo Tian together, and were ready to make a move, but right now, call. A murderous aura instantly enveloped everyone in the arena. Okay, that the 3 of He Feng were taken aback at the same time, and turned to look at the shadow. I saw a person slowly walking out of the shadows. I'm short of money recently, this kid's head is mine. The man said. While speaking, he had already come in front of everyone. I saw this person, a middle-aged man with disheveled hair and ragged clothes. When this person appeared, He Feng and the others subconsciously took a few steps back, with expressions of panic showing on their faces at the same time. Xuanhuan. How could it be you? He Feng said in shock. Xuanhuan. One of the only 3 profound realm assassins in the Night Breeze Country Ghost Hall. Mo Fei said. You, haven't you been suppressed by Zen Master Tianan? Why are you here? Mo Xiang was also shocked, but Xuanhuan said casually, of course I escaped. That nasty bald donkey, I was caught by him after I failed to assassinate him. For more than 10 years, I have been forced to listen to him chanting scriptures every day, and I am going crazy. I finally took the opportunity to escape recently, As he said that, he looked at Luo Tian, and said, "The wealth I saved before is gone, and I am worried that I have no money to spend recently. Unexpectedly, someone came to give money to me." His eyes turned to the other three people, and he said, "This kid's head belongs to me, do you have any objections?" "No, absolutely not." The three said almost in unison, "Are you kidding me? These three people are all Yukangjing, the strength is not bad, but the Xuanhuan in front of him is Tongxian. Although he only has the first level of Tongxian realm, but it would be easy to kill the three of them in seconds. It's good if you don't have it. Young man, your head is mine." Xuanhuan laughed and stretched out his hand to grab Luo Tian, but the next moment. "Huh!" Xuanhuan suddenly felt that the world had turned upside down. Immediately afterwards, he saw a headless corpse standing in front of him. The corpse looked familiar. Wait. Isn't that his own body? Own head? Only then did he realize that his head had been chopped off, but who did it? Xuanhuan glanced, and the last scene he saw was Luo Tian withdrawing the knife. This kid did it? But how is it possible? I'm not reconciled. I just got free. Amid Xuanhuan's unwillingness, his consciousness gradually dissipated, finally, to nothingness. Next, it's up to the three of you. On the other side, Luo Tian turned his head and looked at Hefeng and the others. Chapter 43 The Rising Luo Family. You are listening at NavelFull.audio. A killer in the profound realm died just like that. The few people in the arena didn't even see clearly how Luo Tian made his move. At this moment, Luo Tian turned his gaze to the other three killers who were just about to scramble to kill him. For a moment, the three of them felt as if they had fallen into an abyss. "Escape!" That I don't know who shouted, and the three of them fled out almost at the same time. However, puff puff. As soon as the three of them turned around, each spit out a mouthful of blood, and then fell down, died. In a blink of an eye, three people died again. For a while, the room was extremely quiet. After a long time, the old man swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and said with difficulty, "Your Excellency, what does this mean?" Hearing the sound, Luo Tian turned to look at him, and said with a sneer, "Why, you are only allowed to kill people in Ghost Hall, and no one else is allowed to fight back. Their death is just because their skills are inferior to others. If you want to kill me, get some stronger killers. I'll be waiting any time." With that said, he put his hands behind his back and left the room. Outside, King Jinpeng was already waiting, turned into his body, and left with Luo Tian. After Luo Tian left, the old man came back to his senses. This guy is provoking the Ghost Hall. Doesn't he know how powerful the Ghost Hall is? The old man's expression turned ugly. "Humph, kid, you will definitely regret your decision," he whispered to himself. On the other side, above the sky. "Master, where are you going next?" King Jinpeng asked. Luo Tian thought for a while and said, "How long will it take to go to the capital?" King Jinpeng thought for a while, and said, "Flying at full speed, it will take 6 days to go back and forth." Luo Tian frowned. "Has it been so long? If I go now, I'm afraid it will delay the matter of the Ziwei secret realm. Forget it, let the Xuanhuan palace live for a few more days, and take me home." Luo Tian said. "Yes." King Jinpeng replied. With King Jinpeng flying at full speed, Luo Tian quickly returned to Bianbei city. After arriving at Luo's house, King Jinpeng took the form of a birdman with wings on his back, and went to Niu Wufang to reminisce about the old days, and Luo Tian returned to the lobby. The members of the Luo family have not dispersed yet. "Tianer, where did you go just now? Could it be that you went to Jiangshuanzong?" Luo Feng looked at Luo Tian's return and asked hurriedly. "Young master, although Xuanzong of Jian has deceived people too much this time, they are after all a great sect with hundreds of years of history, and they have a strong background. If they want to take revenge, they must take it slowly and not rush it." The elder also persuaded. "That's right, young master, our family is not at a disadvantage anyway. Let Jian Xuanzong be proud for a while, as long as you give us 50 years. No. In 30 years, our Luo family may not lose to Jiangshuanzong." At that time, we will be together go up to the sword Xuanzong, and kill them without leaving a piece of armor. The third elder also said seriously. After hearing the words of the third elder, everyone in the Luo family looked forward to it. Jiangshuanzang, for the former Luo family, that was simply an unattainable existence, and now the Luo family already has the possibility to catch up with them. According to the words of the third elder, the Luo family will be able to compete with Jian Xuanzong in 30 years. This made everyone feel excited. However, Luo Tian shook his head and said, there is no need for that. The third elder was stunned, thinking that Luo Tian had no confidence, so he smiled and said, it doesn't matter, if it doesn't work in 30 years, it's fine in 50 years. We, the Luo family, will avenge every revenge. Luo Tian smiled and said, I mean, there is no need to take revenge. The Lan family and Jiangshuanzang were all wiped out by me. What? That everyone was taken aback when they heard the sound. Everyone couldn't believe their ears. Tianer, who do you say was wiped out? Jiangshuanzang. Luo Feng got up suddenly. He was not surprised that the Lan family was destroyed, but Jian Xuanzong, that is completely different. Luo Tian smiled, and roughly explained what happened before. Now that Jiangshuanzang has been resolved, Guisha Palace will not take action against the Luo family in a short time. They will at most send someone to assassinate me alone. As for the Xuanhuan Palace, after Ziwei's secret realm, I will go to the capital and destroy it. They'll be fine. Luo Tian said as if he was talking about family routine. However, everyone in the Luo family opened their mouths wide open and couldn't close them with their hands. One person killed Jian Xuanzong, and then went to provoke the ghost hall, and wiped out the four masters. Then, he also said that he destroyed the Xuanhuan Palace. What is Xuanhuan Palace? That was definitely the superpower of Night Breeze Nation. Leaving aside the loose royal family, it would not be an exaggeration to say that they are number one in the Night Breeze Kingdom. When ordinary people mention Xuanhuan Palace, they are all in awe to the bottom of their hearts, but Luo Tian said he wanted to destroy them. Still easily destroyed, this is too. Tianer, how strong are you now? Luo Feng took a deep breath and asked, in a word. Everyone looked over curiously. Luo Tian squeezed his chin with his hand, and said, I can't tell, but I have also met several people in the Tongxian realm in the past few days, and I feel that they can be killed casually. I haven't met Guishu yet, so I don't know if I can kill them. If you meet me, kill me and see. Tongxian can kill at will. Hearing these words, everyone in the Luo family felt that their minds were going to be confused. What kind of wolf word is this? By the way, how are you learning the exercises I taught? Luo Tian asked. The second elder immediately smiled and said, okay. It's unexpectedly good. I have been practicing the first exercise of the young master's body training formula for a few days, and I can persist for a quarter of an hour. Although I haven't learned the second exercise yet, my body the strength is twice as strong as before. Luo Feng also said, I practice swordsmanship, but unfortunately I can only comprehend the first form of swordsmanship, but with this, I can instantly kill the patriarch of the Li family who was not even close to me in the past. Gone. The great elder stroked his beard and said, I have been majoring in the young master's breathing method for the past few days, and I have gained a lot. I have been trapped in the 9th level of the spirit transformation realm for many years. I thought that I would not be able to go any further in this life. But just yesterday, I felt there is a little looseness in the realm, and it is estimated that a few more steps will break through the royal sky realm. Congratulations, great elder. Everyone spoke. Young master, I have already started to practice the second form of your body training formula. Although I almost died when I practiced the first form, I still carried it. Luo Rong said excitedly. Luo Feng also smiled and said, Tianer, this kid Luo Rong has excellent talent and perseverance. He is the first one to complete the first exercise of the body training formula. Luo Tian glanced at Luo Rong, nodded and said, not bad, keep working hard. Then, he said to Luo Feng, how is the cultivation of the young man in the family? He knows that if a family wants to become strong, the cultivation of the younger generation is very important. According to your previous instructions, we will open all your exercises and martial arts to the children of the family, but these exercises and martial arts are still too advanced for them. Nowadays, only the younger generation can complete a complete exercise. 3 people. There are only 12 people who can see the way for the first time, and the others are still in the stage of penance. Luo Feng sighed. Chapter 44. You are listening at NavelFull.audio. So little. Luo Tian frowned, the great elder smiled and said, Young master, this is quite a lot. After all, the exercises you taught are too difficult. It is not easy to learn such a level in such a short period of time. Luo Feng also nodded and said, Yes, and even if they just comprehend a little, it will greatly improve their strength. The 12 people who have just glimpsed the way can almost become invincible in the same situation, and Luo Rong and the others this, even though it is only in the body refining state, it can still have the power to fight against the strong who have just entered the spirit transformation state. Confronting the enemy across a large realm is something that only geniuses can do, even if it is placed in a first-class force. It can be called the arrogance of heaven, as for places like the Luo family. If there are geniuses of this level, almost all of them can be offered, but because of Luo Tian's existence, it seems like this is the case for these few Tianjiao. Those few people themselves were even a little ashamed. There's no way, who made Luo Tian too monstrous. How about this, let everyone continue to practice, anyone who can reach the first glimpse of the door can join me in this Ziwei secret realm. Luo Tian said. Ziwei secret realm. Hearing these 4 words, everyone in the Luo family was in a commotion again. This is the long-renowned secret realm of the Night Breeze country, and there are various opportunities in it, but this kind of place has always been reserved for top-level talents to enter. For the Luo family, that was almost a lifetime luxury, but now. This is already a dream within reach. How can you not be excited? Tianer, after the Li family and several other small families that we counter-killed were wiped out by us, we seized a total of more than 800 million low-grade spirit stones. Tianer, look. Luo Feng asked. You can just watch the distribution, I don't need it. Luo Tian said, Indeed, Luo Tian's cultivation requires almost no other resources other than the materials for breaking through the great realm. Things like spirit stones are of little use to him. After explaining some more things, the meeting was dispersed and everyone left separately. In the corridor, a group of young people from the Luo family looked at Luo Tian's back, and they were all very excited. Young master, he is too powerful. He is the goal of my efforts, said a young man. Hey, Luo Yu, what are you freaking out about? With your cultivation level, you are far from the young master. You haven't even learned one of the moves taught by the young master. Another Luo family boy said. Luo Yu blushed, and said, If you haven't learned it now, it doesn't mean you won't learn it in the future. There are still 5 days before we leave for Ziwei's secret realm. 5 days? You're so lazy, even if you were given 5 years, you wouldn't be able to practice. Someone said. Luo Yu gritted his teeth and said, Look, the Luo Yu from the past is dead. From now on, I will never be lazy for a moment. After 5 days, I will definitely go to Ziwei's secret realm. After speaking, he immediately turned around and left, preparing to practice in seclusion. Seeing his leaving back, everyone in the Luo family looked at each other in blank dismay. Even this slacker is working hard. It seems that I have to work hard too. A girl whispered to herself. Yeah, if he overtakes, it would be embarrassing. I must not lose to him. Another boy nodded in agreement. Everyone, let's talk first. I'm going to retreat too. See you in 5 days. The other young people also left separately. It seems that my Luo family is really about to rise. Luo Feng and several elders looked at the backs of everyone with a look of relief. We old guys have to work harder. If we are thrown away by these little guys again, it won't look good. After the few people finished speaking, they looked at each other, and then went to retreat separately. 5 days passed in a blink of an eye. The day to set off for Ziwei's secret realm finally arrived. Chapter 45. The Genius Boys of Night Breeze Country. You are listening at NavelFull.audio. In the early morning of this day, the Luo family ancestors' house was crowded with people. Everyone was watching the disciples of the Luo family who were about to go to Ziwei's secret realm. Patriarch Luo Feng looked at the juniors in the family with his hands behind his back, nodding frequently. Great Elder, how many people have obtained the qualification? He asked. The Great Elder laughed and said, after 5 days, the harvest is not small. In addition to the original 3 Luo Rong, there are 3 more people who have completely mastered one style. And the number of people who have just seen the way has increased by 21 people. Luo Feng's eyes lit up, and he said joyfully, that means, 6 of us have mastered the complete first form, and another 33 people have reached the first step, and they may master the first form at any time. The Great Elder smiled and nodded, exactly. In addition, there are actually more than a dozen disciples, who are already showing some signs. But I think it is too dangerous to go to the Ziwei's secret realm, so I didn't let them go. Luo Feng couldn't help admiring, this is enough. When this generation of young people grows up, the strength of my Luo family will undoubtedly rise to a higher level. Dazhang nodded and said, that's right, according to my estimation, there are dozens of disciples now, and in the future they will at least be at the royal Kong realm. Yukongjing. Hearing this word, Luo Feng's body trembled a little. This was an unattainable height for the Luo family in the past, and even for the entire Bianbei city. But now, there are so many people in the Luo family who have the hope of breaking through to this realm. How could this not get him excited? Just then, there was a commotion in the crowd. Luo Feng turned his head to look, and saw Luo Tian walking over with sleepy eyes. Everyone in the Luo family looked at Luo Tian and couldn't help getting excited, especially the young people from the Luo family looked at Luo Tian with reverence in their eyes. Why did you get up so early? I plan to sleep a little longer. Luo Tian stretched his waist and said, doesn't look like a master at all. Tianer, it's a rare opportunity to go to Ziwei's secret realm. I don't know when I will have this opportunity next time, so it's better to prepare in advance. Luo Feng said. Oh, it's just the Ziwei's secret realm. It's not a big deal. Let me say hello. Every time the Ziwei's secret realm starts, our Luo family will have a share. Luo Tian said. Is it true? Luo Feng's eyes lit up. He knows the benefits of Ziwei's secret realm. If the Luo family can be qualified every time it is opened in the future, it will be a great thing for the Luo family. Of course it is true. Father, since everyone is here, let's get ready to go. Luo Tian said. While speaking, King Jinpeng appeared and landed on the Luo family's ancestral house. Many people, seeing King Jinpeng's real body for the first time, were very excited. Master Jinpeng King, will you take us there personally? Oh my God, King Jinpeng of the Tongxian realm is carrying us. It's too embarrassing. That the young people of the Luo family became more and more excited. Let's go, come up quickly, go early, and come back early. Luo Tian shouted. The young people of the Luo family climbed onto King Jinpeng's body one by one. At the end of the crowd, several young people kept looking back. Hey, Luo Yu, didn't he come? A young man frowned. Humph, that guy, you said harsh words before, but it's not the same now. Another person asked. Well, my father said that in terms of talent, Luo Yu is one of the best in our generation. Of course, the young master is excluded. It's just that he is too lazy, so his strength is only in the middle. A girl sighed. Yeah, I guess this time, he's still just talking. Amidst the discussion, everyone was ready to set off, but right now. Wait a moment. A voice sounded from outside. Immediately afterwards, a young man covered in blood walked in from the outside. Huh. That's Luo Yu. How did he become like this? Everyone was taken aback when they saw the person coming. At this moment, Luo Yu looked a little miserable. You know, the current Luo family is the absolute overlord of Bianbei city. As a member of the Luo family, who would dare to hurt him? Luo Yu. What's going on? Luo Feng also asked with frown. He also thought that Luo Yu was attacked, but Luo Yu smiled and said, Patriarch, count me in for this trip to the Ziwei secret realm. The Great Elder frowned and said, Luo Yu, you should know the rules for going to the Ziwei secret realm this time, right? The exercises and martial arts taught by the young master must have a first glimpse of the door. I remember you don't seem to have reached it, do you? Luo Yu smiled, and immediately threw a punch, roar. In an instant, on top of his fist, a phantom of a dragon's head condensed. What? This is Dragon Fist. He actually. Seeing this, everyone was shocked, even Luo Tian couldn't help but take another look at this person. This guy actually showed some signs of using the dragon-shaped fist, although, there is still a huge gap from Luo Tian. Good boy, I didn't expect you to do it. The Great Elder looked at Luo Yu and nodded. Patriarch, Great Elder, can I go to Ziwei's secret realm? Luo Yu asked with a smile. Of course, you can go. Luo Feng said. Thank you. Luo Yu said, flying onto King Jinpeng's back. When everyone in the Luo family saw him, they consciously gave him a large piece of land. Everyone knows that Luo Yu at this moment is already one of the 7 strongest members of the younger generation of the Luo family, of course, not Luo Tian. Niu Wufang, take care of your home, King Jinpeng, let's go. Luo Tian said. Yes. King Jinpeng and Niu Wufang took orders together. In the next moment, Jinpeng took dozens of young people from the Luo family, soared up, and disappeared from everyone's sight in an instant. I hope they can gain something this time. Luo Feng said in a low voice, looking at the backs of everyone. Don't worry, with the young master here, there will be no problem. The Great Elder comforted. Luo Feng also nodded when he heard the sound. On the other side, in front of the Ziwei secret realm, the Ziwei secret realm is about to open, and the forces that have obtained the qualification to enter have already occupied their positions in advance. Just wait for it to open, and rush in immediately to snatch the opportunity. Boom. A bell rang, and an old monk, accompanied by several young monks, flew from afar and landed on a hillside. Ha! That's the Zen Heart Elder of Fumo Temple. He actually led the team himself. Are you from Fumo Temple? I wonder if there are any geniuses in this generation of Fumo Temple. A genius? It must be that one. Monk Ruoming, 22 years old, at the 9th level of Qi Gathering Realm. And I heard that he practiced the indestructibility of the Vajra, which is in the same line as the legendary Zen Master Tianan. And there are rumors that the incorruptible body of a Vajra is better than Zen Master Tianan when he was young. Oh. So powerful. Kang. There was another sword cry, and more than a dozen flying swords pierced through the air. The people from Jianyumen are here. That's little sword fairy Xiao Lin, the guy who is considered qualified to compete for number 1 among the younger generation of Night Breeze country, the crowd exclaimed. Chapter 46 The Arrogant Wei Tian. You are listening at novelfull.audio. He is Xiao Lin, the little sword fairy. I heard that this person learned the sword control technique of Jianyumen at the age of 6, and he can fly with a flying sword. At the beginning of this year, he even personally beheaded a monster in the spirit transformation state. What? He is only at the 9th level of Qi Gathering Realm, right? He can kill monsters at the spirit transformation realm. This is too strong. Everyone looked at Xiao Lin and praised him, and at this time, call. The sound of breaking through the sky was heard again, and 2 more people, one old and one young, arrived. Ha! The Chen family in Star City, as the largest family in the Night Breeze country, there are only 2 people here. Hey, even though there are only 2 people, that young man is an amazing person. He is a genius of sword repair, and I heard that he is even about to cultivate the embryonic form of sword intent. The embryonic form of the knife intent. Everyone was shocked again. Look over there, people from Gue Yuanzong are coming. Everyone followed the prestige, and they saw a young man wearing Gue Yuanzong's costume, riding a dragon horse, landed on a mountain peak, and floated out of the dust. I know this guy. He is the number 1 of Gue Yuanzong's younger generation, Luo Chen. There are rumors that this person is a bit weird. Weird? Why is it weird? Well, how should I put it? His cultivation seems mediocre, and he doesn't seem to be good at anything. but he has also fought against many arrogances of various sects over the years, but the results are all draws. Ha! A draw with Tianjiao. Isn't he very strong? You don't understand what I mean, no matter what the opponent's strength is, he and the opponent are evenly divided. This is too incredible. Could it be that he deliberately concealed his strength? It's possible, but I have consulted with a senior brother who has fought against him. The senior brother said that Luo Tian has gone all out and did not deliberately hide his strength. This is really weird, that everyone nodded, but right now, boom. A loud noise resounded in the air. Immediately afterwards, a huge chariot, pulled by 72 dragon horses, fell from the sky. Ha! Which faction is that person from? 72 dragon horses, so deep. Amidst everyone's astonishment, the chariot slowly descended towards a hill. There are already 2 sects on the top of the mountain, and they have already occupied their positions in advance. Seeing the other party coming, the old man of one of the families immediately cupped his hands and said, "I don't know which family's fellow Taoist, we have already occupied this place. Please take one more step, and find another place to settle down." However. Roll. On the chariot, someone said coldly. The old man on the hillside frowned. He was already very polite when he spoke, but the other party was still so shameless. "Your Excellency, I don't know who you are, but this old man is the great elder of Xuanhuan. Although I am only a second-rate force in Yefan country, I can't be bullied by anyone. This Xuanhuan elder wanted to say something more, but at this moment, a palm suddenly stretched out from above the huge chariot, and it fell towards him with a bang. Okay. Before the elder of Xuanhuan could say anything, he was directly slapped to death with a single palm, leaving no scum left. This is at the Tongxian realm. And it's at least the 5th level of the Tongxian realm. Who is it? No matter who it is, even if you have the cultivation base of Tongxian realm, you can't kill people at will, right? The people of Xuanhuan didn't do anything excessive. Isn't it too much for you to kill people at will? The old man wants to see, whose family is so arrogant, that the behavior of the people on the chariot obviously aroused public outrage. Almost instantly, 3 experts of the Tongxian realm floated up and stood in front of the chariot, but at this moment, there was a sneer from the chariot. Hee, are all the ants in Night Breeze country so reckless? That while speaking, a young man came to the edge of the chariot with his hands behind his back, and looked down at the crowd. He was fine, but the few people beside the young man made everyone in the room gasp. Then I saw 4 tall, short, fat and thin people standing beside the young man. These 4 people have completely released their aura at this moment. And they are all at the Tongxian realm. For Tongxian realm. And at least all of them are above the 5th level of the Tongxian realm. What's happening here? You must know that in Night Breeze country, there is a Tongxian realm in the sect, which is the threshold for second-rate forces. As for the 3 Tongxian realm, they can be called first-class forces, and on this chariot, for Tongxian realm unexpectedly appeared at the same time. More importantly, judging by the appearance of these 4 powerhouses at the Tongxian realm, they are very respectful to young people. It looks like a master-servant relationship. Let 4 masters of the Tongxian realm be servants. Even the royal family doesn't have this strength, right? Your Excellency, aren't you from the Night Breeze country? An old man at the Tongxian realm asked. Night Breeze country? What kind of rubbish country? Of course I am not. This young master is the young master of the Wei family of Yulong country, Wei Tianyi. Wei Tianyi said proudly. Jade Dragon Kingdom? He is from the Jade Dragon Kingdom. The Jade Dragon Nation's national power is more than 10 times that of our Night Breeze Nation, but why did they come to our Night Breeze Nation? And I've heard of the Wei family of Jade Dragon Kingdom. Legend has it that the ancestor of their Wei family was a strong man at the 7th level of the Ruins Returning Realm. Returning to the Ruins Realm, returning to the 7th level? Are you kidding me? In the Night Breeze country, there has been no return to Ruins Realm expert for many years. It turned out that the other party's family actually had an ancestor at the 7th level of the Ruins Returning Realm. In this comparison, the gap is too big. Why, my Wei family is coming to occupy a place. Do you still want to stop it? Seeing the shock of everyone in Night Breeze country, Wei Tianyi was very satisfied. He glanced across the crowd with a provocative look on his face. Returning to the ruins in the early 3 years is also very embarrassing at the moment. Naturally, they all knew the name of the Wei family. That is definitely not something they can afford. One by one could only swallow their anger and retreated. Wei Xiaoyan is serious. It is our honor that Wei Xiao can come to us to return to the Yuanzhong territory. How could anyone stop it? They just don't know Wei Xiao's prestige. Luo Tian, as the host, immediately said with a smile. Humph. Forgive me that you country bumpkins from Yefan country don't dare. Wei Tianyi showed disdain and motioned for the chariot to get down. Seeing his arrogant appearance, everyone in Night Breeze Nation gritted their teeth fiercely. This guy is so annoying. Before Luo Tian came to the chariot, he cupped his hands and said, I don't know why Xiao Wei is here. Wei Tianyi lowered his head and glanced at him, and said, It's nothing, I just came here on a trip, and I heard that you have some kind of bullshit secret realm opened here, and said that many talents from your Night Breeze country will come to participate, so I'll take a look. I'm curious, in this garbage place like yours, what is there that dares to call itself the pride of heaven? As he spoke, he strolled forward, glanced at the crowd, and said, I heard that there is a bald man from Fumo Temple who is called a genius. Come out and let me see. Chapter 48 The Inheritance of Taoist Ziwei. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As soon as the words fell, a young man flew over with his sword and landed on the hillside. Little sword fairy Shaolin. Did he really make a move? Hehe, Jianyuman's sword control skills are really powerful, and you can fly with the control sword at the Qi gathering realm. Shaolin has slain monsters in the spirit transformation realm before, maybe he can win this battle. Everyone in Night Breeze country cheered Shaolin down below. As soon as Wei Tian turned his head and glanced at Shaolin, a hint of disdain appeared on his face. Sword control. It's just heresy. Wei Tianyi said. Shaolin raised his head and said, whether it is heretic or not, you have to try it before you know it. Martial arts are not based on words. As he said that, after he landed, he held the sword in one hand, made a sword art, and shouted violently, the art of imperial swordsmanship, the sword energy is vertical and horizontal. Kang, kang, kang. In an instant, dozens of sword chi condensed behind his back, and then cut towards Wei Tianyi. Wei Tian looked at the flying sword energy, curled his lips and smiled, and also made a sword formula, and said lightly, black water swordsmanship, strangle. Kang, kang, kang. For a moment, the black water behind him turned into a flying sword and cut towards Shaolin's sword energy. When, the sword shadows on both sides collided, and in just a few breaths, Shaolin's sword energy was completely shattered by the black water sword. What's more, He Shujian continued to go after Shaolin. What? Shaolin was shocked when he saw this. He never thought that his sword energy would be defeated, and so thoroughly. Seeing the black water sword attacking, he knew that he couldn't resist it, so he directly flew up to the sky with the sword, trying to distance himself from the opponent. Hehe, you still want to escape after attacking me? It's a good idea. Wei Tian's eyes flashed a gloomy look, and the speed of the black water sword suddenly increased by a bit. This. Shaolin looked back in astonishment, but found that he was too late to dodge. Puff. In an instant, several black water swords pierced through his body, knocking him down from the air. Shaolin. The elder of Jianyuman's expression changed suddenly, and he immediately flew over and hugged Shaolin. However, looking at Shaolin at this moment, there was a blood hole in his dantian, and he fainted to death. The elder swayed and almost fell from the sky. This is the first genius of their Jianyuman younger generation. His dantian was actually abolished. If he knew that his dantian was abolished, he would be doomed for the rest of his life. Wei family. He turned to look at Wei Tianyi, but Wei Tianyi wiped his hands, and said with a smile, what? Is the old one not satisfied after beating the young one? You can take action against me and avenge him. But I'm ugly. If you take action, the people behind me will not stand by and watch. Not only will you die, but your sect will also be destroyed. The elder Jianyuman squeezed his fists hard, but finally chose to swallow his anger. turn and left, there's no other way, the Wei family of Yulong Kingdom can't afford to mess with it. At this time, the venue was extremely quiet. Night Breeze Nation fought 3 games in a row and lost all 3 games. One had its arm crippled, the other had its golden body shattered, and the other had its dantian crippled. You must know that the 3 people who took the shot are all the best of the younger generation. They all lost. Can anyone win? Hey, why is no one here? Could it be that you, the generation of Yefeng Nation, are all trash? Wei Tian swept his gaze across the crowd, sarcastically, but everyone in Night Breeze country could only grit their teeth secretly. There was no other way. At this time. Brother Wei dominates a country with 1 manpower, so domineering. Humph, it's only possible in a trash country like Night Breeze country, it's not a skill. At the end of the crowd, 2 people sang and said in unison. Who? That the conversation between these 2 people, whether it was the people of Night Breeze Nation or Wei Tianyi on the hillside, showed displeasure on their faces. Everyone followed the reputation. At the end of the crowd, 2 young men were standing and sitting, looking at everyone jokingly. Among them was a young man sitting 7 feet tall, dressed in gorgeous clothes and holding a folding fan in his hand. The standing young man was nearly 2 feet tall, and his muscles seemed to explode. He was so strong that he did not hide it. Everyone in Night Breeze country looked at the 2 with suspicion. No one recognized it at all, but Wei Tianyi was shocked. Han Wenzhou and Tang Jiaolong from the Tianhe Gate of Yulong Kingdom, why are you here? Wei Tianyi asked with narrowed eyes. After these words were spoken, the people of Night Breeze Nation knew that they were also from Jade Dragon Nation. An old man took a deep breath and said in shock, it turned out to be the Tianhe Gate of the Jade Dragon Kingdom. That is also the power of those who have returned to the Ruins Realm. Return to Ruins Realm, that everyone's hearts froze again. On the other side, Han Wenzhou, who was waving a paper fan, stood up and said to Wei Tian, why are you here, and why am I here? You. Wei Tianyi stared at the 2 of them with a serious look on his face. Han Wenzhou smiled and said, Xiao Wei, don't be nervous, isn't it the inheritance of Taoist Ziwei? Let's do it according to our own abilities. Ziwei Taoist inheritance. That when he said these words, it was like throwing a stone on the calm water, which immediately caused countless ripples. Master, what does he mean by Taoist Ziwei's inheritance? A young man asked, looking at the old man beside him with a puzzled expression. The old man's breathing seemed a little heavy, and he calmed down after a long time. He said, Taoist Ziwei is a strong man in our Night Breeze Kingdom 3,000 years ago, and he is also the master of this Ziwei secret realm. According to rumors, Taoist Ziwei's cultivation because, I have already broken through the ruins returning realm and reached a higher tribulation crossing realm. It's just that in his later years, when he hit a higher realm, he died unexpectedly. There have been rumors that he left his inheritance in the Ziwei secret realm. But in the past 3,000 years, the Ziwei secret realm has been opened countless times, and there are countless times. The strong have gone to search, but there is no clue. That's why people in the world think this incident is just a vain legend. Could it be that this rumor is actually true? No wonder everyone from the Wei family has come. After hearing the explanation, everyone immediately exploded. That is the inheritance of a strong man in the tribulation realm. If you get the inheritance, some people have already started to dream. You. Wei Tianyi saw the 2 of them breaking the secret, and anger flashed in his eyes. Han Wenzhou smiled and said, Brother Wei, don't you think that only your Wei family got this news? Although it's just a rumor, all the forces that should know probably know about it. Believe it or not, it's not just us Jade Dragon Kingdom, and even the forces of other surrounding countries have arrived, but they are not as arrogant as you. This. Wei Tianyi's complexion became more and more ugly. He originally thought that since he came to Night Breeze Nation secretly, with his own strength, he could completely crush the bumpkins of Night Breeze Nation and easily win the inheritance of Taoist Ziwei, but after listening to Han Wenzhou's words, I realized that things are not as simple as I thought. Chapter 50 Shocked, is anyone in the Luo family a genius? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hearing Luo Tian's words, Luo Chen's expression turned pale. Luo Tian also noticed his appearance, and immediately frowned and said, What? Is there a problem? Luo Tian sighed, and roughly explained what happened before. After hearing this, Luo Tian frowned, looked at Wei Tianyi and the other three, and said, in other words, if you defeat these three guys, you can enter the Ziwei secret realm, right? Luo Tian nodded and said, that's right, not only that, but it is also possible to get the inheritance of Taoist Ziwei. Luo Tian snorted and said, okay, then I'll beat these three guys into the air. With that said, I'm about to step forward, but at this moment, one of the disciples of the Luo family behind him stood up. Young master, how can you kill a chicken with a sledgehammer? Isn't it just three lunatics? Let me share the worries of the young master. He said loudly. Luo Tian turned his head and glanced at him, then at Wei Tianyi and the other three. After a little thought, he nodded in agreement. Okay, let's go, don't hold back. Luo Tian said. He also wanted to take this opportunity to train the younger generation of the family. The three young people in the spirit transformation realm on the opposite side are quite good whetstones. Thank you, young master. The young disciple's eyes lit up, and under the jealous gazes of his clansmen, he swaggered towards the three of them. Seeing this appearance, everyone in the room was stunned. Hello. What's the matter with this kid? I think he seems to be in the body training state, right? How dare he go there? It seems to be gone. It is the body training state. This is too brave. Young's fart, he's just here, and he hasn't seen the strength of the three people opposite. Wait for a while, there will be a good show. Everyone in the Night Breeze country whispered. On the other side, Wei Tianyi and the others also looked confused. Ruoming, Shaolin and others who came to fight before are all strong in Qi gathering realm, but right now, what's going on with this kid in the body training realm? When the few people were in a daze, the young man had already arrived in front of the three of them. He held his head up, looked at the three of them and said, I, Luo Jialuda of Bianbei City. I'm here to challenge you. Han Wenzhou smiled angrily, and said, okay, the three of us, you can challenge as you like, as long as you win any one of them, we will no longer prevent you from entering the Ziwei secret realm. Luo De glanced over the faces of the three of them, and finally landed on Tang Jiaolong. Big man, it's you, come here. Rhoda said. You bastard. Tang Jiaolong's forehead bulged with veins. In his opinion, Rhoda chose himself because he obviously thought that he was the weakest of the three. How can he endure this? I saw him walking over with a murderous look. Seeing his expression, Han Wenzhou waved his folding fan and smiled. Hey, that Luo is out of luck. Angry Tang Jiaolong, even I have to stay out of the way. He said with a smile. On the other side, Tang Jiaolong had already arrived in front of Luoda. Boy, do you have any last words? Tang Jiaolong said. Last words? Tell me. Rhoda said. You. Tang Jiaolong's eyes almost popped out of his sockets. This guy is so annoying. In that case, go to hell. Tang Jiaolong roared and threw his fist at Luoda. Boom. There was a loud noise, and smoke and dust were everywhere in an instant. It's over. Everyone around, seeing this scene, all closed their eyes and couldn't bear to watch any more. A body cultivator at the spirit transformation state, punching a person at the body cultivation state with a frontal punch. Is this result worth thinking about? There is no doubt that Luoda must be smashed by the opponent. Not even a whole body can be left behind. But... ah, it hurts. Rhoda's voice came from the center of the battlefield. Okay, everyone followed the prestige and saw Tang Jiaolong still punching in the middle of the battlefield, and Rhoda stepped back 7 or 8 steps, rubbing his fists and screaming for pain. This. Among the crowd, Luo Tian was shocked when he saw this scene. It was obvious that Tang Jiaolong had the upper hand in that blow just now, but the crux of the problem is not here. You know, Tang Jiaolong is at the spirit transformation realm, and Luo Tian has personally experienced how strong his fists are. The power of this guy's punch is more than enough to instantly kill an ordinary Qi-gathering powerhouse. In the end, hitting a body-refining Luoda had only this kind of effect. Tang Jiaolong, what are you doing? Han Wenzhou frowned. Tang Jiaolong ignored him, but stared at Luoda. What's the matter with this kid's fist? Tang Jialong was also a little puzzled at the moment. He didn't hold back the punch just now. He wanted to smash Rhoda to death with one punch, to give himself a prestige. In the end, it just hurt the other party. Humph, there must be some special method. I don't believe that your physical strength can reach this point. Thinking of this, Tang Jialong roared angrily, and pressed towards Luo again. Damn guy. Seeing this, Rhoda gritted his teeth and greeted him. The two punched more than a dozen times in a row. Nothing else, this is shocking enough. Hey, that Rhoda, what's his background? A person in the body refining state can hold the spirit transformation state for so long. Could it be that Tang Jialong is too weak? This is also possible. On the other side, Monk Ruoming has also come to life after rescue. He looked at the two people in the battle, his pupils trembling constantly. No. That Tang Jialong's strength is definitely not weak. His physical strength is terrifying. If it were me, I would be able to hold him with 5 punches at most and be defeated. Even if I broke through to the spirit transformation state, you can't do better than Luo De. Monk Ruoming said, his words spread quickly. What? Even Master Ruoming said that? Then this Rhoda. Oh my god. Rhoda. In our Yefeng country, when did such a talent appear? I don't even know. How strong would such a person be if he had reached the Qi gathering and spirit transformation realms? Everyone looked at Rhoda again, their eyes filled with awe. At this time, Luo De had already received more than 10 punches from Tang Jialong, and finally couldn't bear it any longer. Wait a minute. Wait a moment. I can't beat you, I surrender. Rhoda shouted, covering his hands. You. Tang Jialong looked at Luo De with anger in his eyes. On the other side, everyone in the Luo family looked at Luo De with dissatisfaction. Hey, Rhoda, what the hell are you doing? Does that guy's fist really hurt that much? That's right, aren't you afraid? Don't embarrass the Luo family. Listening to the Luo family's complaints, the rest of Yefeng country looked at each other in blank dismay. If Luo De was a member of their forces, based on the record just now, he would definitely be praised to the sky, but these Luo family members said that he was embarrassing to the Luo family. What brain circuit is this?